What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the two-time award-winning Dr. Vibe show. Yes, two-time award-winning 2020 Podcast News Award winner and 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I'm getting used to saying that. That's a beautiful thing. And one of the other things I do online is I host monthly online conversations for fathers and dads that are sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization, and Dove Men Care. I actually just hosted one today about online safety and kids for dads. So you should check it out. So if you want that link, get in touch with me. We always like to have new friends on the Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations. I have to put one more thing in. Remember, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Getting back to where I was. Yes, we always like to have new friends on the Dr. Vibe Show. This is someone you may or may not know, but I've had the pleasure of knowing for a while, and it took a little time to get her on. But before we get her on the screen, let me give a little background. Layllen Sawyerr, she's an international motivational speaker and MBA toting John Maxwell certified coach. Her passion is life to empower others to see their best lives. She empowers others to master their mindset and transform their lives. Scared, fearless, skeptical, however you choose to come along, her goal is to embrace the most authentic self and walk in your purpose. And that is what she does. She will be with you every step of the journey. She has 14 plus years of management training, coaching, consulting, and corporate experience. She is passionate about living a healthy life and shares her journey of travel as she collaborates with brands. Hire her if you want to clarify your message, learn how to capture your audience, and monetize your brand. She has hosted events, collaborated with top brands, trained individuals, and consulted with companies in order to help her bring their message to life. If you are looking for a keynote speaker, this is the person here. So without further ado, Layllen Sawyerr, come on down. How are you?
What's going on, my loves? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless, depending on where you are in this blessed and beautiful world. Thanks for having me, Dr. Vibe.
Well, it took a bit of time. It took a little time.
I feel like I wish I was like in the stand so I could do the whole running down the thing and clapping hands type of energy. I feel like that's what you were bringing me out for. So I'll take it.
Absolutely. We're doing it we're visioning that. So one day I would love to have the opportunity to announce when you come down an aisle. I could receive that big time.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this show. Perfect timing, long overdue and right on time.
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw out a question right at you first things first.
Yeah.
November 17th, 2015. Do you know what happened on that date?
I'm going to assume that we met each other.
You are good.
Honey, it's the intuition.
There you go. That's the first time that you and I exchanged messages on Twitter.
Awesome.
So I did some research.
Okay.
And so we're just past our 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing and really tells you the power of social media because we've been connected ever since.
Absolutely. And it's been a blessing to know you at least digitally. And you haven't been to Canada yet, but hopefully one day we're going to get you to Toronto when all this clears up. Because one of the things Layllen is very good at is she loves to travel.
Facts.
Loves to travel.
My favorite thing.
I know. And I'm going to warn people before. We're probably going to do a part 2 of this because there is so much to cover. All in love. Layllen has been a supporter of mine for many years, and I hope she can admit I've been a supporter of hers too.
100% for sure.
So we're twin kids of different mothers.
Yep.
There we go. So I don't even know where to start, but so I'm just gonna start.
All right.
Sierra Leone.
Man, the motherland, the place of possibilities. So many things are happening there, but that's where I was born.
Yes.
Yeah, and I came here at a really young age, but I was blessed to be raised in the U.S. and finally go back and visit Sierra Leone 20-something years later. And it was exactly what sparked my travel interest because it opened up a whole new horizon for me and allowed me to see the possibilities. So I said possibilities, not even realizing that it was a thing that planted the seed to spark me being able to just say, where in the world can I go and venture to learn more about other cultures and then also be able to plant seeds.
What age did you leave Sierra Leone?
2.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And why well, I never say never. I'm gonna ask any memories of leaving, and why did your family leave?
Opportunity, possibility, something different.
Okay. And
Yeah.
where did they land first place when they came to the United States?
We came to Texas. That's where I've been in and out of the bulk of my life, but Texas is where we started and then went to Maryland and then came back and planted in Texas for the majority of my young years growing up throughout college, up until
Nice.
college.
Memories of those younger days growing up in Texas?
Honestly, it's bittersweet. It's good and it's bad because along the journey, you pull the positive pieces out, but then you also know as a child, and that's a lot of what sparked me to share my interest and my belief in the power of self-love is that knowing that there was something missing. There's a missing
Hmm.
component. So always knowing at a young age that I was resilient, but then more importantly, or not more importantly, but also being very in tune to my intuition
Right.
and paying attention to my feelings and knowing that something was missing and something was different.
Nice. One of the things you talk a lot about via your Instagram account, and I'll mention before we get off how many Instagram followers she has. I'm not going to tell you. We'll keep it to the end. But
Yeah.
you mentioned the love you have for your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the many things I really appreciate and love you for.
Thank you.
Uh, what do your parents mean to you? And from a young age, did you know that you had two special people in your life?
Probably not. I don't think any of us know. Honestly, I think we're just young people trying to figure this beautiful thing called life out, and we can't choose our parents, but we do have to find all of the good. There's no guide to parenting, so I think it's just the beautiful aspects of you being able to find the good things, um, find the space to love them in the place that they're in and be that they are in and be an appreciation for it. So my parents are my best friends. They drive me crazy sometimes because they challenge me because they know my mind's always going, but they have really also taught me the power of being resilient, not always having both of them present in my life at the same time gives me a deep appreciation that now we are in that phase of nourishing and really cultivating that relationship and then taking the lessons from the experiences when they were both not always able to be present. And when I say that, was not raised by my biological mother, which is why when I reference some of the childhood moments of the bittersweet, is the ability to know that there was a genuine connection missing with a certain piece of you, because I think that there is a certain piece that comes from that biological parent.
Yeah.
And then also realizing at a young age that life is what you make it. And so I needed to find the glass is half full methodology and really apply that to as many aspects of my life as possible.
Mm. Your your biological mother, is that still something you're needing to overcome?
It is. I'm actually taking childhood trauma classes for it. I don't stray away. I'm not shy about it.
No, I know
I
that.
I I work on that on a consistent basis and I'm very intentional because it's important to me so that one day when I have a child, I am able to love and be the best version of myself for my child.
Do you know how blessed you are that you have that type of second mother, so to speak, in your life?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a blessing. I was blessed with two sets of parents, and they're both incredible, and I pull out the positive pieces of both of them.
Nice. Any words of wisdom that you would have for anyone who's listening or watching this who are in situations like that?
You're capable of so much more than you can ever imagine. And life is going to unfold and they'll throw some things at you. But once you decide that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you are enough, you'll press forward with a different type of determination. And when you can really start to try different things and take risks, it will help you eventually stumble upon your passion. And that passion is going to awaken something different in you that will give you a different sense of purpose in life.
How many
So
books you gonna
use
write?
it.
How many books you gonna write, lady? Like you already
So
wrote one.
use it. Use that. Use that. Use that. Use that because you'll change the world. You really will. One person at a time.
One of the other things that you've acquired in your journey is an MBA.
Yep.
Was that something that you wanted to do, or were you pushed to do, or someone suggested you do?
A combination of both, but primarily my parents always just pushed me for excellence. And I'm really glad that I did it because oftentimes when as a consultant, and I do have a background in finance, compliance, consulting, IT risk, when it's you and another candidate, that is a lot of the times or sometimes the thing that pushes you over to make you the most desirable candidate. So I think that it, not think, I am glad that I did it, but they did push me to take
Mhm.
the extra step and to go the extra mile so that I was able to differentiate myself. Not that that doesn't mean if you don't go to school, you won't differentiate yourself. It's just for the career path that I had chosen, it was something that was beneficial to me in the long run.
Nice. Do you remember the day you got your MBA?
I was like, thank God, I don't have to work full time and go to school full time. So I was going to work, I was working a full time job and taking classes and going to school year round and going to school full time.
How did you do that?
Time management and pure determination and focus. Which is why I tell people when you find the thing that awakens that passion in you, you won't worry about how it's going to get done. You'll just be focused on accomplishing the goal.
Nice. So getting back that moment when you got your MBA, where were you when you found out the news? Do you remember?
Los Angeles, California, in my apartment on Sunset, Fuller and Hawthorne, actually. My
Okay.
beautiful first apartment, my new beginnings in Los Angeles. Yeah.
What was the reason for moving from Texas to the LA scene?
Change in environment, challenge,
Hmm.
spontaneity. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to LA. Let's do it. That's literally how it happened. I found out on Friday. I left on Sunday.
Oh my.
hmm
Okay.
And it was a roller coaster. It was good times.
Let me put out a statement, and I want to know if you agree with this. You would rather be dead than bored.
100%. Yes. All day long.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Travel is another part of your portfolio. I should have said that. Layllens
I like
portfolio.
that.
Portfolio. You can keep it.
Yeah, my portfolio entailed a vast amount of travel.
Where was the first place that you traveled to that you said, wow?
Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Mm,
Wow. The beaches, the people, the energy, the city, the food, the culture, the music, the language,
all that.
all of that.
How long were you there for?
3 weeks. That
Wow.
was a long time. Curtis, yeah, my
Yes.
mom, it was her idea, and so kudos to Mama for that. And we went for 3 weeks.
Nice.
hmm
Can you share a special memory from that first trip?
I think it really just, I actually recall writing in journals that if I can get here, I could literally get anywhere in the world. Because for that to be your first international trip and you go 16
Yeah.
hours, sheesh, it just really lets you know that it helps you believe in the power of unlimited possibilities. Because at that point, you're like, I can pretty much go anywhere. And it was very symbolic of going back home. literally and figuratively speaking. And full circle come back around when my mom and I stopped speaking for a period of years. We actually reunited in Sierra Leone, West Africa. And
Oh
we didn't even
my.
know we were going to both be there. We just so happened to
Come
both land the
on,
trip at the
Layllens.
same time.
Don't even go there. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, I actually have a post that says, literally and figuratively speaking, in December of 2016, I went home. The whole post is in my head because that's when we reunited 2 days after my birthday. And then a month later, we reunited via text. And then 2 months later, we met in person.
How special of a memory was that?
It's completion.
Mm.
Um, it also, you become so resilient when you learn to handle and maneuver life in a certain way that once that thing that you've become resilient from appears into your experience, you now have to create a new thought process
Okay.
on how to maneuver life. And it was a beautiful experience because we're literally twins. Everyone who, if you go to my Instagram, we're literally twins.
It's true.
I say sometimes, I'm
True.
like, well, you pooped yourself out, honey, so you can't be mad when I act like you.
Uh, Another thing I want to chat about is you're a member of sorority.
I am. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Ooh.
Okay. And how has that been how was that beneficial while you were again doing the education thing, and how's it been beneficial for you now?
You know, I am a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta, and I love our illustrious sisterhood. And it also was a really strong component in growth. It's a really strong component in the ability for me to process certain things and then also apply the things that I learned to that.
Right. Right.
So it was huge. It's amazing. And even to this day, I have a really strong bond. Not necessarily on a daily basis with my line sisters, but from an actual care and concern. We genuinely care about one another.
Uh, you had some time working in the corporate world.
14 years as in,
And good, bad, ugly of it.
there's a part of me that's always going to be wired for corporate. And I think it teaches you how to maneuver in a certain way. And I think it teaches you it gives you a different perspective, right? So I think there's a part of me that will always either do something from a corporate perspective, whether it's train or hire, speak to corporate individuals, or one day pursue my own firm or something to that. Because I do like it. I'm wired very structured, and then there's the creative part of me, and I want to be able to satisfy both of those.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Because I think when we first started communicating, you were doing some of that like doing some
yeah,
stuff corporate wise,
yeah.
and I said, wow, like, and folks, she was pulling some crazy hours. Like, I mean,
That's a
yes,
lot.
I'm going crazy, crazy as I'm going, Layllens, man, give
Yeah, it was
yourself
bad.
grace.
It was a lot. I was working like 12-hour days,
Mm.
6 days a week, something like
Mm.
that. It was a lot.
When did you know that the entrepreneur life was going to be part of your journey? Would be your journey?
I think it I think it naturally just you don't you don't choose it, it chooses you. It's kind of like life coaching. Like I didn't call myself a life coach. Someone just said, "You're my life coach." And I was like, "What? I'm just sharing my thought of the day with you. What are you talking about?" And I think I've actually embarked on it a few times. I've quit my job and wholeheartedly said, "I'm an entrepreneur," and jumped full-fledged 2 feet into it. And 6 months later, I was broke. So
Oh,
I always tell people all the time, entrepreneurship is not sexy.
no,
Honestly,
it
it's
isn't.
not. Mm-mm.
No,
I've
no, no.
learned many a lessons. I always encourage people, if you have a position that allows you to work and invest in your dream. Like Lisa Nichols always says, her employer was her investor.
Yeah.
If you come up with a strategic plan, utilize your job as your investor to pursue the things that you really truly want to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Done. Well done.
Thank you.
Another one of your interests. I won't keep you too long because I know you're at another person's house, so we'll go to no problem.
The Google ads.
Yes, all right, no problem.
No, you're good.
Another part of your portfolio is fitness.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Health
How,
and wellness is so important to me.
how did that become part of your? I'm going to say that now. Layllens portfolio. I like that
Portfolio.
portfolio. I like
Yeah, I
that.
like that. My portfolio consists of um really just the self-development journey. Honestly, it's you can't have one without the other. So if you want to say you want to be happy, healthy, whole, and complete, if you want to embody what you seek, if you want to be well-rounded, physical is a big part of that. And not from the physical appearance, it's the actual you feeling good from doing the work that helps transform your mindset. Because it's more mindset. Because I was waking up at 5 a.m. and boxing and doing classes, and that's mindset. I was waking up. I used to actually wake up at 4 a.m. when I had that contract that you spoke with me, and I was working those
Yep.
crazy hours. I'd be up at 4 a.m. and that's how my morning message really caught fires. Every morning I'd be up at 4, working out, saying good morning, my loves,
Nice.
at the crack of dawn. Yeah, so
Well,
I think physical is such an important part because people think that you can have one without the other, and that is just what I think closes out once again that completion. So it's mind, body, soul, intention, self-development, self-love, physical. Physical being like taking care. What are you putting in your mouth? What are you eating? What are you doing with your body? Are you meditating? Even if it's just a few minutes of walking a day, are you doing things that get you in terms of exercising? Are you finding that place of peace? Are you getting still? Are you getting in tune with yourself? All that stuff is physical.
nice. One of the words that's come up a lot in our conversation so far, and I've been listening, is resilience.
Yeah.
Was there someone in your journey that showed? Are there people in your life, or there's someone in your journey that is a good example of resilience?
My mom, my biological mother. I retrieved the word resilience and I use it so much from the late and great Wayne Dyer.
Yep.
In the journey of me healing, I found things that I could relate to. And in one of his messages, and it's actually in my book, he said his mother gave him up at a young age. And instead of being bitter about it, he learned the power of resiliency. And so, because I always frame things in a way that I could find the positive or find the good, when I heard that, I literally was like, yes, she was teaching me resilience this whole time. And I had to find a way for me to put it into a context or manner that still made me feel as if I was learning the lesson from it and using it as a tool for growth.
Nice.
Yeah. So she indirectly, because perception is reality, right? Everyone has things that happen to them, trauma, bad experiences, obstacles you have to overcome. And it's really truly up to you to decide what you'd like to pull from that. And this was a message I was going to speak on today, but I'll do it here first live.
Thank you.
It's so often that we're focused on the thing that we think we're losing. We don't think about the things that we've gained. We're not grateful in the experience for what I gained from the resiliency. I was looking at the fact that I, in my thought process, lost the relationship or the ability to be raised by my biological mother. But I gained resiliency and I gained trust and I gained so many other things along that journey. So focus more on what you've gained than what you think that you're losing, because there's so many people that come into our experience in our life and they're there for a very specific reason. And sometimes we try to hang on to things for too long. And then we end up missing on the bigger, more beautiful piece of it. It's like they were there for that very specific moment in time.
Fully agree. I don't disagree with you. Sometimes there's I love my music, and there's a song by an artist, Sting, who's still around today,
Yeah.
and one of his famous songs is "If you love somebody, set them free." Set them free. Set them free.
Yeah.
You've mentioned your book. Talk about your book.
Love It All Starts With You is the journey of self-discovery, of healing, of being grateful for what you have, which are all topics that I touch on in the book. I talk about just that self-healing and the self-love, and the more important part of we're trying to be so many things to everyone else, and we don't first fill ourselves up and our cup up, and we can't give what we don't have. And so we run on fumes and we run on empty, and we keep going until we have nothing left. And we have to really learn that self-love is the most important thing, because when you are full, when you feel good, you are at your optimum levels, and in turn you can be the best version of yourself for you and then for other people in your life.
When did you decide to write the book? What made you write it?
I actually became a speaker, and people kept asking me if I had a book. I was like, why do I need a book?
And that's how Layllens is, folks.
You're like, well, you need to give people something to like read or to talk about. And I was like, okay, what would I talk about? And then I relate my experience of growth in Los Angeles, and I decided to put that into a book and name it. I actually read Kamal Ravikant's book, Love Your Life, Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. Incredible book. And it's so simple. He just literally in the book repeats, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. So I wanted it to be what I wrote, because I knew that that book impacted me tremendously. And so self-love was such an important part. And I also realized that so many other women were suffering from what I was suffering in terms of not having that relationship with their biological mothers. More women that I even knew, because once I started sharing my story, other women would say, you know, I don't have a relationship with my biological mother either.
You know, I've got a thought here, and maybe you want to be part of this, because my conversations a lot of times are generated what people, my friends, share.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to, if you're up for it, if you find time, I'd love to get a group of ladies together to talk about that subject.
Yeah, it's very, very common. And so many people, especially women, we put a smile on our face because we want to create this perfect picture. And I did that for many years, but eventually you get tired and you get burnt out and you just crash. You get to the point where you no longer can soothe yourself. And so you wake up one day and you're going through certain thought processes, and you have to get really vulnerable. And like David Goggins says, you have to have a really honest conversation with the accountability mirror. You can run from everyone else. You can't run from yourself.
Well, my major mentor, Mario Armstrong, says vulnerability is the new currency.
It is so. We talked about that the other day. That's what I was going to write on my quote. Okay.
It's all right. We ain't going anywhere. One day I'll get up there.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Do it. Yeah.
It's all good. So getting back to the book, how long did it take to write it?
It wasn't long, actually. A few months. Writing a book is not difficult. We just get in our head about it. And I tell people all the time, pick the chapter or pick the title, self-love, 4 steps to XYZ, or whatever your thing is, and then create the outline and fill in the blank. Don't overthink it. Get the first rough draft out and then have someone go through and fine tune it and edit it for you. I just thought about the key components: self-forgiveness, self-love, being grateful for what you have, an attitude of gratitude, all things that we hear consistently. I just put my own spin on them and shared what was helpful for me in that healing journey.
And people are still ordering this book.
They are. I got the best testimony today. A young lady was like, it was the best. It was the best. And I revamped it. I rewrote it once I reconnected with my mom, because the book was written from a place of misunderstanding. I rewrote it when I connected with her, and I added chapters and places that you could go through and journal and ask some really honest questions, and then turned it into an audiobook. And I have my mom on the audiobook at the end.
Nice.
Yeah, she wrote her 2 cents. It's like, let me in on this. I need to tell the world what I think.
And that's how Layla and her mom roll. Once in a while, you'll see her on IG and you'll say, yeah, that's the way they roll, man. That's the way they roll.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible.
I love, for me, one of the things that's core for me is life is made out of decisions and moments. Mm-hmm. So you decided to write that book. Do you remember the moment that you held that first copy in your hand?
Yes, it was horrible. Oh my gosh. I
Oh,
looked back
sorry.
later on. No, it wasn't a horrible moment. It was amazing. It was July 4th, 2016. It's my
Wow.
favorite holiday, by the way, to my future husband. You can propose to me on that day. Hint, hint. I love July 4th, and I was so determined to get it done because I wanted the fireworks to be my celebration. And I was ecstatic. The only reason why I say it was horrible is because when you're writing something, you go back later on and you see all the things that you wanted to update or change or the grammatical errors. But it doesn't matter. Get the book out. You'll figure it out.
Just get it out.
And that's
Just
what I
get it
did.
out.
I went and updated it. So yeah, it was a good experience overall.
You are very blessed and also overwhelmed with a lot of people that communicate with you. What have you noticed about people during this year, 2020? What have you seen or heard in people in 2020 this year? Because they communicate a lot and they're very open with you.
I've noticed a lot of things. Two things. People are either thriving or they're dwelling on the things that are outside of their control, the variables that they have no control over. A lot of people are thriving though. A lot more people. Sometimes people message me and they're like, "How are you holding up in COVID?" I'm like, "I'm great. How are you?" You know, or you have the people who are like, "I'm the busiest I've ever been. My business is booming. I either adapted or I allowed it to stifle my growth." And so I don't think there's like even an easy median. I think two things are happening. People are getting creative, they're figuring it out, and that's what life will do for you when your back is up against the wall, where they're allowing themselves to be more focused on the excuses than they are the possibilities.
Nice. Very, very nice. Jumping around a little bit because I know we're gonna have to wind it down soon because I know people are waiting on you.
No problem.
uh, you have a new venture. You are using you have a space that people can use where you're living.
Yeah, it's very
And I've
exciting.
never got the full story. So can you please share that with me and also our audience?
Yeah, so I regrouped and came back to Texas for a little bit just to take a break. LA can be very overwhelming. And while I was here, I found a home I wanted to actually put a bid on. Perfect home. I'm the queen of manifestation. I can literally manifest anything in a moment, in the drop of a dime. I wanted this house. I found the house. I put a bid on it. Someone outbid me. I
Oh,
said, you know what? I'm going back to Los Angeles. I'm going back to my place of peace, my happy place. And instead, I did find a place in Los Angeles. And I got really frustrated that the bid still, like, I had that thing that I needed to prove to Texas. And I ended up manifesting like a day or two later the event space, and it's called Laid Spaces, and it stands for Live All Your Dreams, because we've created the space where people can come together and really bring their vision to life, whether it's an engagement party, an upscale birthday, a women's conference, a training. I had a yoga class on Sunday, a yoga training class. It's really a unique space located in prime location in Uptown Dallas, which is a very prime area of Texas or Dallas, that is 2,200 square feet of just pure intentionality, attention to detail, private rooftop. I poured my heart, my soul, my everything into the space, and it truly, you can tell it from the energy from the minute you walk in, to the candles, to everything that I've curated in the experience, that was so near and dear to me, and it's now truly a new passion for me.
what led you to that passion to do this?
You know, I like to see things being created. I get satisfaction in the hunt. I get satisfaction, and like I genuinely believe I'm going to be a serial entrepreneur one day, because I get satisfaction in the chase of the desire of what I feel can serve other people. And that space is serving so many people, because in a time where COVID has a lot of restrictions and we follow COVID guidelines in terms of disinfection and things of the that of that space, but realistically, it's like it gave people the ability to come together and find a space that they would be able to bring things to life. And it's also a place for me, because I host women's conferences, that I knew would be something that eventually I'd be able to do a conference or a retreat at. And then also just do content. My podcast is coming soon. So it's a great location to do podcasting and things of that
Finally,
nature.
finally.
I know. It's
It's
long
been a
overdue, but
minute.
right on time. My
It's
podcast is coming, a place for me to record my content. My Thursday my morning messages. It's just a place for me to come together and just create. And so with that passion for me to create, it gives others the ability to do the same. Because my guests are not one-off clients. They're not one-off bookings. They're clients for me. I'd like it to come together and actually start doing networking events that are very specific to certain niches that give you the ability to get in there and network genuinely and find like-minded individuals that you all can both thrive from that collaboration, because everyone can win and there is truly the ability to be abundant.
What has the experience of having your own space, has it revealed anything, new talents or things you did not know about yourself?
Probably just determination. I'm very determined and I work really, really hard.
Yes, I've known that about you since day one.
I work really hard.
So this is good. This is good. And a lot of people are enjoying the conversation. Christy White saying amazing with a smile.
Awesome.
So they're all loving what you have to share. And as the noise, yeah, I see they're competing. So we're gonna start. It's
Them to
all
be
right.
Stephanie, be quiet. Pregnant people, they think they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but you
Like
are
one
in
of
their
my really
house,
good friends,
right?
she's
So
pregnant. No, it's not. I'm not in the pregnant girl's house. The pregnant lady's just yelling loud. She doesn't have a filter. I'm just joking. Bless her
oh my.
heart.
Layllens, we've known each other for a while. It's been a blessing for me, and I hope it's been a blessing for you also.
Of course, 100%.
How have you grown in the 5 years that I've known you? What do you see where you've grown, and what do you still think you need to work on?
I've grown in understanding that I'm a light source and that I have a very specific purpose. And I know when I come into people's life for a reason and a purpose. And I'm okay with that reason and that purpose, with serving whatever I can do, whether it's I'm there to encourage you or help you through a difficult experience. I'm really good at being okay with that, pouring into others and trusting myself, my intuition. I'm still working on, hmm, I'm still working on probably just a deeper level of trust, maybe even more layers as it comes to entrepreneurship. I'm learning a lot about true entrepreneurship. I'm learning
Mhm.
about system, strategy, and structure. And like I said, entrepreneurship's not sexy because everyone on Instagram is an entrepreneur and they don't understand that finding a true tribe, finding relationships that you can cultivate will take you so much farther. And if you're really like nurturing those relationships, like I have a tribe of people who have been following me for the last 10 years. And those same people have reached out to me when I stopped doing my daily messages, whether I was just
Yes.
overwhelmed or going through life, and said, La, where's my message? And it just allowed me to realize the impact or the importance that I had. And so I'm learning a lot now from an entrepreneurship standpoint, because the vision that I have, what I thought it took to be a true entrepreneur, and what I'm learning in the day-to-day lessons in the thick of the grind is completely different. And so I'm having to rise to a different level of excellence. I'm having to rise to a different level of determination, of focus, of clarity. And I think the biggest thing for me that really helped me get anything and everything that I've ever wanted is to get really, really clear on it. And I got really clear on late spaces. I'm really clear on the intention of it, what I want to happen.
How much thought energy took into lay spaces?
A lot. I stayed up day and night, but I didn't stay up because I was looking for the space. I was getting my energy and I was creating it before it even existed on my radar. I got into alignment with what I wanted to look like, the purpose that it would serve, what would take place in that location before I even worried about where it was going to be. See, so often we're doing the manifestation backwards. We're looking for the thing. We're saying when the partner comes, I'll be happy then. When I make more money, I'll be happy then. As opposed to, I'm going to be grateful and happy with everything that I have now, knowing that where I'm at is not where I'm going to end up. And I'll visualize the look, the touch, the feel from a vibrational standpoint until it gets so clear that once I look to the left, every apartment, every location, every studio, every position, everything I've ever found, I was in alignment with it before it even appeared on my radar. And it was that moment of not holding myself to resistance to whatever it was that I wanted. At
Hmm.
that perfect moment, that opportune time is when it always revealed itself.
Wow. That's
Exactly to the T of what I was envisioning. Wait till you all see what Lay Spaces does.
I'm waiting.
It's
Maybe
coming.
when this is over, hopefully I get an invite to come down.
Of course. Yeah, it's just the first of many.
Hmm. Which environment do you prefer more, Texas or LA?
Both for different reasons. LA has possibility, it has hope, it has an energy, it exudes, it pushes something in you. It gives you a feeling of you being alive. Texas is focus, it's clarity, it's intention, very intentional. It's family, it's home.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Since your entrepreneurship has gone to another level, can you give what a basic Leyland entrepreneur day is like these days?
Um, so I still consult. I haven't my consulting's my investor.
Right.
I don't pretend that I get up and post and that's all I do. I'm up every day by 5 or 6 at the latest, if not
Yep.
earlier. If I wake up at 3 a.m. and I can't sleep, I get up and work. And I'm doing my manifestation. I'm doing meditation. I've now turned one of my office walls into a whiteboard wall. So it's just the whole wall is I'm able to write on. And I differentiate my time between doing consulting work and speaking with clients. And I have about 3 to 5 bookings or tours a day. And so throughout that day, I'm speaking with clients, I'm hiring, new people to join the team. I'm clarifying my message, I'm fine tuning it because it's always about, it's never done. You're always getting more clear on what you
Yes.
want. And I am really just in the thick of the passion, the thing that excites me. And some days are rough,
Of
but
course.
it's a
Of course.
blessing.
Well, I'm humbled. Some days you have shared with me some of those challenging days, and it's not sexy. It's you like you grind regularly, you celebrate occasionally, right?
Yeah, I get it. Something will happen and then I'll get right back into the what's next. Like we have, this is a down week for a lot of people, and I'm so excited to be able to really drill into the work. I'm really excited I set up a really amazing office setup that has my dual monitors, my desk, my chair, my everything that's like my wall. And so now I'm just really excited to really truly just get into the thick of getting really clear strategy, system, structure. For the longest time, I didn't even realize I didn't have it because I lived a very spontaneous life. And spontaneity is great until you're in business and you need to generate revenue.
Hmm. Very folks, you need to listen to this lady. She is on point and she's on fire. And you know what? It's evaluated experience. She's lived it and she's in the heat of the battle too. So you need to keep in touch with this lady because she is in the heat of the battle. And almost every day she does her messages on Instagram. Like you have been since I've been in social media, definitely one of the top 10 people producing consistent, valuable content.
Thank you. And I got a coach. I encourage everyone. You don't have to figure it all out. If you can invest in a coach, honestly, I finally hired a very expensive coach and it lit a fire underneath me that you would never believe because I'm like, oh, I gotta make this work. Not only do I have
Yeah.
to make money, I now have to pay myself back for the money that I've paid you to coach me. So
Yep.
I have no choice but to actually be. And strangely enough, when I did low dollar value items, I didn't have the sense of urgency. It wasn't until I got this coach at a higher dollar value to where I was like, oh, I'm using you for everything. Like I need to talk, I need to text, I need to get on a call, I need to, because at that point it was really make or break. That's when you need to really determine if like how bad do you want it. Because I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on courses, but it wasn't until I got a really good coach that it was the perfect piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, I can, as both of us are certified coaches, but I have a coach and he's on me about something. We can talk about it offline, and he's on me. He is on me about it.
Yeah,
And and he's relentless because he knows it's going to benefit me. Sometimes you need that person that many years ago, I had a good friend, Bruno, who was in the stock market business, and he said he always used this term beyond the glimpse of the obvious, which meant sometimes you see something and someone else sees it totally different, catches what you don't see. And that's
right.
what a good coach does for you. They see it and they push you in a good way to
Pushing.
achieve it.
They don't. My coach always says, "I don't care how you feel. Get out of your feelings. Your business doesn't care about your feelings." So that's the thing where I think like a lot of people don't understand your business that your
Someone's having a good time.
yeah, your business doesn't care how you feel. And when he said that, like I used to post based on my feelings. He was like, "I don't care how you feel. Your Instagram followers don't care how you feel. Your business does not care how you feel. Get out of your feelings and keep going."
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, you know what, and in parallel to that, there's some, as you know, I mentor a lot of men and fathers. And sometimes I have to tell them, I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here to help you.
right.
And if I help you, you will like me in the end. You may not like me during, but at the end, you're going to like me.
Yeah, I have to pay that bill every month. And regardless if I like it or not, the bill's coming. So I
Yep.
have the ability to get out of my feelings and really utilize what I need to do. And that's exactly where my focus is like I have to, if I'm going to pay you, I need to make it worth it. Because at this point in time, like you get to the point where your back is up against the wall and you have to decide, do you want it? And what are you doing to actually make it work? Like, what are you executing? What are you willing to do? What are you
Yep.
willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up?
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? I want it so bad.
What do you want so bad?
I want to actually be the change that I wish to see in the world. That's my motto. I want to actually be a living, walking testimony that my experience growing up without my biological mother and all the things that I've endured, and I'm sure others have endured way worse. Everyone has things that they're overcoming. So my situation may not be any more or less important than someone else's, but I just want to show the ability to finally hone into your skill and your passion and get really clear on it and being able to execute on it. And that's with Laid Spaces. It's not just the event space for me, it's actually a possibility and it's actually a vision that I got really clear on. And to see it, when you start pouring money into the thing that you really love, it's like a baby, right? Like that's my
Yep.
baby. And I don't think about anything else but how can I make it better? And what can
Mhm.
I do to help a client or create a better customer experience? What can I add to the space to make it even more amazing? And once I fine tune this process, what I plan to duplicate.
Duplication. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's already done. It's already done. I'm manifesting the space already in me now. I've already found one. It's already in. It's already done.
Nice. When the when we get out of this phase of the world's existence,
Right.
where's the first place you're traveling to?
I haven't really picked a place because a lot of the times I am spontaneous when it comes to travel. Last week I was like, I'm going to Miami. Okay, let's go. I haven't picked a place. And I think sometimes that that's beautiful because you also get to not have the pressure of
Right.
like sometimes we box ourselves in, and even with trips or even with things that we need to do, it's like so much could change, and we may be out of this in 3 months or we may be out of this in 9 months. So I'm not sure if where I even decide I want to go today is where I want to go in 9 months.
Hmm.
So I don't have anything set. I just know where I'd like to. I love tropical places and warm weather, and I love to be near the water, near the ocean, on beaches. I love running on the beach, and I love being amongst different cultures that I can actually experience. You know,
Hmm.
something just came to mind.
Go ahead.
I have a really good friend who's been in Portugal for 2 months. She went there, said she would staying for 2 weeks, and she's extended all up until 2 months later. And I have a lot of family. People don't know I'm Portuguese. I have a lot of family in Portugal is one of the most beautiful places. Lisbon.
Yep.
So in my spirit, when you asked me, that just resonated in my soul. Some of my favorite places, because obviously I have traveled a little bit, are Portugal or
A
Lisbon.
little bit. A little bit. Okay,
A
you say
little
it's a
bit.
little bit. You're reading my alleged mind because I wanted you to list some of the places you've been to. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lay. Go ahead, Laylen, tell.
Some of my favorite places are Portugal, Lisbon. I've been to Barcelona. Barcelona is so charming. It's such a charming place.
You enjoyed Barcelona from the pictures and videos.
I had a
You had a good
blast.
time there. You had a good
I had a
time there.
blast. I went to Paris. I went to the Ryder Cup. I literally got, I went to Amsterdam and then I hopped on a train here and then I got on a train and I went to Paris. I was in Atlanta when Tiger won and then I hopped on a flight and went to Paris to see him play in the Ryder Cup, which was a really great experience. All because my next door neighbor was a retired golf player. And he was like, "This is the best golf tournament." And the next day I was like, "Got a ticket." He was like, "I hate you." It was an incredible experience. I found a group of people randomly walking in, and they just became my buddies for the day. I've been to Johannesburg, South Africa. I would live in Joburg, minus all the situations that happen from time to time. Obviously, some of the dangerous situations. I've been in Nigeria. I love Lagos as much as obviously the SARS situation is something that's really heavy and unfortunate. When it's not prevalent in those instances, it's a beautiful place. Culture, the people, the energy. I have, of course, Sierra Leone, Accra, Ghana. I've been to Erbil, Iraq. Like, what are you doing in Iraq, Layla? And I actually was able to talk to the U.S. Embassy there, and I was able to go on the radio station. And they are the coolest people. I've been to Kuwait. God, I've just been to some really unique places, honestly. I've just hopped around. I've been to Rome. I used to do this thing called the one ticket tour. And me and my brother would buy one way tickets everywhere. We'd just get there and we'd be like, where do you want to go next? Just buy a one-way ticket, see how we feel, and then we go to the next place. So we went from London to Rome to um, just different places. We hopped around. The Dominican, went to Jamaica.
Where did you go in Jamaica?
We did um, Montego Bay, of course, and then I think we did Runaway Bay. I've been to Jamaica a few times. I love Jamaica, and we had
Thank
the
you.
best time. We had the best time ever. We met random people at a bar and we all just like hung out all night long. And I ended up running into one of my friends in the club there, all the way from California. He's like, Laylan, what are you doing in Jamaica? It was incredible. I've just been blessed to go to some really, really neat places. And honestly, I can't wait to add more to my passport when this is all over and done with. Like, I don't know where I'll go next, but I've been to Egypt. Egypt was cool. They drive really fast in Egypt. It's like NASCAR. I've just been to some really great places, but I want to explore a lot more of Africa. I mean, I've been to Kigali. I'd love to actually go and spend a lot of serious time, like in different parts of Africa, like
Yes.
Mombasa and Zanzibar, and like just really like go to different parts of Africa and see the people and experience the culture. Such a rich continent.
Yes. For me, for Africa, I'd like to have a trip where I start at the top and go all the way down.
Sounds perfect. One day I need to do that. Like after Late Spaces is up and running,
Yeah,
I need to take like a month or two and just
travel.
travels in Africa.
Wonderful.
Get it automated.
Well, we've taken up a lot of your time
Awesome. Perfect.
sharing. Anything you'd like to share with us? What's the future for Lay Spaces? What's the future for you?
I'm opening up another Late Spaces. I'm debating on four locations right now. I am releasing my book at the beginning of next year. It's about dating and love. It's about getting laid, literally,
Eh,
living
Yes.
all your dreams. I am soon releasing merch. I've done it before, but I'm really adamant about releasing merch that I can wear and really support and share with other people. And then I am releasing my podcast called The Layllens Experience. Have you seen the trend, the laid? It's a little bit of a trend. Um, so that's what it is, and just really the opportunity to continue to mentor. I mentor a lot of young women, and a lot of men hit me up about relationship issues and questions on Thursday night. We have
Oh
Thirsty
yes.
Thursdays.
Oh yeah. They're interesting.
They are. You get raw, real, and rugged. And I've decided to start taking myself on a date every Thursday prior to the show. And then coming on and being able to we have raw, real, candid conversation. It's like nothing, it's all open there. And a lot of people jump on and we asking a lot of scenario type questions. I think I want to leave people with this though, because this has been a constant, especially with COVID. A lot of people are carrying a lot of baggage. A lot of people, that's a very common thing. A lot of people are holding on to a lot of things and they're carrying a lot of baggage from past relationships, from childhood trauma, from things that didn't go well, from ex-wives, ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, and they're not truly taking the time to heal, like really heal and be kind to themselves and really fill themselves back up. Instead, they're juggling and adding the next thing to their plate. And I think that I hear that so often. And I just want to encourage whoever this message is for you to just, whoever's for you is for you. They'll come, they'll be there at the right time. But until you can truly take care of self first and embody what you're looking for, you're going to continue to attract a mate that is not in alignment with what you truly deserve. And at the end of the day, I feel that we all deserve to have a partner in purpose who can share, grow, build, support, and help us achieve and accomplish our dreams and goals.
It's been worth 5 years waiting.
Awesome. Can't wait to come back.
So, folks, if you want to find out more about Layllens, our producer will put her Instagram handle. Yep, it's up on the screen. That is the best place
Thank you.
to communicate with Layllen Sawyerr. Layllen, thank you for 5 years of making my life better, and I hope there's 50 years more. And I hope I do the same with you.
It's an honor and a pleasure. You always add value every time you come on. People are always anxious to talk to you. Everyone always receives you with love, and they're always like, "This guy knows what he's talking about." So
Well,
God bless.
next time they do that, I'm going to say she taught me.
Yeah, you're the best, Dr. Vibe. I appreciate and value your friendship more than you know.
Right back at you. And the last message I will leave with you is remember to give yourself grace and never be afraid to reach out. Even though we're in two different countries, I
Yeah,
feel so a lot of times I feel you're just around the corner, just around the block, and that's a good feeling for me.
for sure. Every day. Thank you. Love you alive. Have a blessed, beautiful, and amazing, abundant, a freaking spectacular day. Remember, love.
And
It all starts with
she
you.
always says that at the beginning and the end of every one of her IPs. She is consistent with that. And she's like, she brings it all the time, wherever she is, whether it's working out, whether it's outside, whether it's in a car. Like, I mean, if you want to know how to build this Instagram followers, this is one person you can learn from.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's Dr. Vibe here, host, producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 and 2018 winner, Canadian Ethnic Media Association 2020, won for podcast news category, 2018 Innovation Award. Once a month, I host broadcast for fathers and dads that are co-sponsored by Dad Central and Dove Men Care. I'd like to thank some people that helped make this an epic conversation, because I'm the host of Epic Conversations, and this is a place for epic conversations. Olivia, Melvin, Christy, and others who watch this live or on the replay, or people who either listen to this on the replay, thank you so much. It's appreciated and not taken for granted. If you want to find out about me, the best place to go to is my website, thedrvibeshow.com. This is how I close out. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger and better. Aim higher, aim wider. Thank you to BIA Media for a great production job. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith. And remember to give yourself grace. Walk good. Goodbye, everybody.